You might be wondering how I got here, but I've been doing this for a long, long time. You can say that I'm a thief and I stole it, but how can I steal what I believe to be mine?
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Nicolas Maduro, the communist dictator of Venezuela, effed around and found out. Here's President Trump saying, you don't want to F with the United States of America. And, well, this is what the finding out looked like last night as American special forces, in a show of absolute shock and awe, went into Venezuela and did just pretty much whatever they wanted, had their way with her, and captured their communist dictator, destroying all of their air defenses, their only air base, and not even getting any return fire, quite frankly. It was an unbelievable operation. No Americans were hurt. I don't think any American was even fired upon. President Trump saying that Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been captured and flown into our country, deported to America. The irony and the disrespect of taking the man's wife is pretty epic. Just the rudeness of it all. It's amazing. I like being part of a hegemony. I like being part of a superpower. This is what it looks like, and this is what people should fear. This is a fear operation in order to signal to places like China and Iran that we're not messing around. And obviously, there are major problems here in this country, but many of those problems, so many of those problems, are caused by unlimited criminal immigration that has been facilitated by Venezuela. And massive drugs flooding our nation, also facilitated by Venezuela, and also stolen elections, also facilitated by Venezuela. By the way, they bombed Hugo Chavez mausoleum, Hugo Chavez's grave. They bombed it on the way out and destroyed a massive statue of him. So just like a epic yeeting, ladies and gentlemen. And the people of Venezuela cheering. The people of Venezuela now cheering and ripping down and burning Nicolas Maduro posters. There has been a wide range of reactions, all of them positive, except for, I think, Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, maybe, the UN. I don't know. Everyone's outside of the presidential palace cheering and singing in the capture of Maduro. Venezuelan people have, of course, been kept as slaves underneath a communist dictatorship. It used to be the single most profitable and functional, clean country in all of South America after 25 years of having communists strangling them and also stealing all of the wealth from the people of Venezuela. They are out cheering. You can see here, singing, dancing, cheering, crying on camera. It's a beautiful thing. The axis of Western enemies is crumbling. Somebody set the Ayatollah's photo on fire last night. There you go. You can see here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, President Trump was just on Fox. We'll play you a clip of that in just a moment. If this regime, if this remaining regime is left in place, this will still be considered widely successful 24 hours. I think this has been has some groundwork in Venezuela for a number of weeks, and this may well be the single most successful military operation in American history. Again, because, well, you were able to get rid of a dictator who was torturing his people, who was destabilizing his country. And most importantly, I mean, you got to actually understand this. The criminal alien migration flow comes primarily from a destabilized Venezuela. This is the reason why there are so many criminal aliens and why so many of them are from South America, is because Venezuela is destabilized. This is the source of so much of the problems in this country. Again, virtually every problem this nation has can be alleviated by deportations, mass deportations, hopefully back to a stable Venezuela and Somalia and so on. This is a man waking up his family in the middle of the night to confirm that Maduro was captured. and they are singing, and he's excited. He wakes up his wife and kids to announce that Maduro is gone. And they're happy, crying tears of joy. And then he's singing, okay, all right. Venezuelans residing in Chile. There are millions of Venezuelans all over South America and in our country because and so they are extremely happy about this. Obviously, this is going viral right now, this interview of sobbing, weeping, joyous Venezuelans throughout the country. Thanking President Trump. And I think this is how you win the Latino vote, to be honest with you. I don't speak Spanish. I think it's fair to say that people are lighting Maduro posters on fire, thrilled about what's happening, and President Trump now threatening the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, with a military operation. This is an operational message you're sending to Mexico. She's not running Mexico. The cartel's running Mexico. Something has to be done with Mexico, says President Trump. Again, everyone's sharing these interviews. Everyone is excited and happy and thrilled. This dude was live streaming when the first bombs hit in Caracas. Jeez. Okay. Popping champagne in the morning. Celebration. Venezuelan YouTuber, very popular Venezuelan YouTuber, after the news that United States Army has captured and removed Nicolas Maduro following large-scale attacks on the Caribbean nation. It's fair to say that I think they're happy. Again, I don't speak Spanish. I think you can understand the sentiment there. Let's just end with this. This is a man who's speaking in English. He's Venezuelan, and he is explaining truly the significance of this from a geopolitical perspective and from a civilizational perspective for Western civilization. So the celebrations, taking over the streets, the posters of Maduro getting ripped down and burned, people dancing in the streets, popping bottles of champagne, and here is why.
Okay, as a Venezuelan American, I got some shit to say. My family, my parents, my sister, my extended family, all lost everything. Their work, their savings, their investments, gone. Wiped out by a narco-dictatorship that has held Venezuela in a death grip for over 25 years. And what happened to my family has happened to millions, and yes, millions. The Venezuelan exodus is the second largest displacement crisis on earth after Syria. This is not just a tragedy. It is one of the great humanitarian disasters of our time. But the suffering doesn't end there. This regime has jailed hundreds of political prisoners. Thousands have been murdered simply for speaking out. More than a third of the population has fled. 1/3. Not for better opportunities or for the American dream, but to survive, to live, because staying often means death. And while the world may see Venezuela as a collapsed state, what it is in reality is an occupied one. Our territory, our natural resources, and our institutions have been overrun by hostile foreign powers. Iranian militias, Chinese corporations, Russian intelligence, all exploiting our country with impunity. Venezuela is no longer just a local crisis. It is now a geopolitical threat that endangers the entire Western Hemisphere. It has become a launch pad for an authoritarian expansion in the Americas.